Hi friends, it's Nancy, and today I'm back to work on the Dark Fairy Journal. I'm going to make a few pieces of ephemera. I did go ahead and work in it because there's a lot of like little details I want to keep adding, and I'll save that for when you see the flip through. But I wanted to make a couple main pieces of ephemera with you today, and then I think I will finish it off, and then the video after this video, maybe like beginning of next week probably, I'll do a flip through of this video, and this video will be available in my Etsy shop the day that it goes live with the flip through video, unless someone contacts me through Etsy ahead of time. Okay, so I'm still finishing up. I did work in the first signature, and I still have a few things to do, but I wanted to make a little something to go on the back of this tag here. And I was looking through my some of my ideas. I try to sometimes make, like Kathleen Maurer. Hi Kathleen. She's very good at making samples, and she has like all her envelope samples in one package, and all her templates, and I'm like, that is such a very nice idea to do. I am so unorganized, as I think a few of us are like that, but anyway, this idea I think was from Wendy's Journal Adventure, and you can make it pretty much any size you want, and it's a little 3-pocket folio that will go on there, or yeah, you'll see it. Anyway, I'm going to make it to fit the size of this tag here. Like I said, you could make it bigger, but I'm going to do it on here because I thought it'd be fun to put all the extra goodies. I always give a ton of all my extra die cuts and anything I have left over that I haven't used when I started. It all goes with the journal. So, and I thought, well, that's a fun place to put a bunch of these little things. So this is hand-dyed paper from Jacqueline's shop, Lovely's Crafty Lodge. On Fridays, she usually has live sales on YouTube, so you would look her up and always list her below. And this is a piece of a page from the kit that I printed on cardstock because I want the cover of this to be a little stronger, and these are going to be the pockets. This is just like probably, it feels like 24, 28 pound cardstock that was done on. And I'm going to use this piece here. I love this embroidered piece. I love all this, but I'm going to cut this part down, and I wanted it to be blank something on, because you'll see. Anyway, let's get started. So I wanted you to know I cut 3 pieces to fit that, but you would measure where you want to put it. So these 3 pieces measure 3.5 by 6. I have 3 of those. And then, so this one, I'm going to have to make it smaller. You want to cut it pretty much the same size of the width of your pocket. So I want my pockets to be 3.5 to fit on there. So I believe that's what I'm doing. And I'm probably going to cut some of this off. Let's see how much I want to cut off. I could cut some of this. Okay, so I don't need that. And then I'll turn it back around and see. I want it to be like 3.5. I'm going to cut it a smidge. Let's see if I get it there. You know what? I'd rather have more of the purple. So I'm going to cut a little bit more off here, this dark edge here. There we go. Maybe that'll work. Yeah, 3.5, right? So it's got to be, you can make it 1/8 of an inch bigger, but I'm going to try to do it that way. All right, let's see. I'm going to cut it here, and I'm going to probably cut it down again. So let me move that. Oh, well, I didn't do that right, did I? Oh my gosh, I did not even. What was I looking at? Oh yeah, now I screwed that up. Okay, well, it happens. So now I'm going to have to try to use drats. And then I have the mushroom on there, but how it's going, oh, the mushroom part might work actually. It might flip up to the right side. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was not, you know, it's morning and I'm trying to do a video before the grandkids come. So maybe that's why. I don't know. Let's try this again. But same deal, I just cut it wrong. So if I do 3.5, that's going to make it there. So that's going to be good, I think. All right, I am at 3.5. I don't know. Maybe you saw I wasn't and you were yelling at me, but I didn't hear you. All right, so I'm going to cut the white off here. And let's see this piece here. I want this piece. So, all right, I'll measure this for you in a second. Obviously, it's 3.5, and this piece measures, because I did print it at 8 by 10. This is going to be, this is like 7 7/8 for now, but I might cut some of it off. We don't know yet. All right, let's just see. All right, so with these 3 pieces, it's going to be 3 pockets. So I want you to just, I didn't do a good cutting. I want you to just meet the edges and fold them together like this. Do that on all 3 pieces. I have no idea why I have little edges. Must be the paper. What kind of paper? I don't know. So fold them in half like that. Okay. And you can do this with book page. You know, we make those accordion. It's an accordion thing. That's what it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so get my glue out. And I'm going to run a thin line of glue and close these pockets up. So just, you know, a thin line, because you're not putting thick stuff in there, but you will be putting something. They will be full. So just do that with all 3. I'm anxious to start, well, I'm always anxious to work on Spellbound. Obviously, that's going to be, I think that's going to be happening starting as much as I can now, twice a week. But I have some other Halloween ideas coming up, so we need to work. If you're into the Halloween, I hope you will love some of my upcoming projects. I really do. I just want to start. But I also like to work on fall right now. So anything fall, autumny. But I have another spooky type journal. I'm not sure. I mean, I know my theme and I'm gathering, but I don't know what kind of a cover or if I'm going to make it an envelope or a manila folder folio. I don't feel like I want to make a, I don't know yet. It's still in the works, okay? That's all I can tell you. But I'm trying to figure that out, what I feel like doing. So now we have 3 of them. What we're going to do is you're going to, you can take your glue stick or whatever, but down the middle, you just want to put like a thin line like that down the middle. And you're going to line these up and they're going to get glued together. Just make sure they're as even as possible all the way around. Hopefully I cut them right, but get them even as you can. And then one more time to glue the front one on. And you don't want a thick line of glue because it won't open properly. So don't, you know, when I say in the middle thin, that's what we need to do. Okay. So we'll get those pockets ready. Let that glue for a second. All right. So now we want to make a cover for this. Oh, wow. What happened here? I moved this, didn't I? Oh, what was I thinking here? I don't know. Let me put a little more glue there. I don't know what I was doing here. Did I need to put more glue? Yeah, see? I don't know how I moved that, but I did. It's very important to get them even, otherwise it won't look good. So let me hold that again. All right, now I got to figure out the cover. So I guess there's different ways you can do this, but I want a cover that goes around. Maybe I don't. Maybe, how do I want this? I'm going to glue this to the back. I'm not making it a pocket or anything. So what I can do is on the back here, and now you can see these should be opening just nice like that. Perfect. See, now we've got that, but it still has to glue, so stop pulling it, Nance. Why do we put some glue in and we always want to work it right away, like it needs to set? Okay, so I'm going to probably put some glue around 1/2 inch here, and I want to just glue this on over that 1/2 inch. So I'm going to glue the back of my pockets and 1/2 inch here. And I'm doing it because I want the flap to go this way, but when you open the flap, you'll see the mushroom since I cut my other piece wrong. So it's fine. It's still going to work. I just really like that piece with those colored ribbons. But that's okay. It's still going to work. So this is attaching the flap to the pockets. This is such a fun journal. I just love purple and green together. Of course, you know I love purple, but I think purple and green, like when I see floral flowers with purple and the green, oh my gosh, it just melts my heart. I love it so much. So we want to get that on there, and you want to make it even as possible. And see, that's why you cut the cover to the size of the same size. So you make these pockets whatever size you want. You cut a piece of cardstock or Tim Holtz cardstock, or any kind of cardstock, to the same width, but you want length because depending on how tall your pockets are, how wide they are, determines the piece of this. Now I measured this at, just a hair under 8. I might have to cut some of it off because obviously it's going on this, so it's not a page. So the basic is easy, right? I think the basics are easy. The other thing is you don't want to fold this over directly to the edge here. You want to give it, I'm going to score it actually. Give it about a generous 1/2 inch. A generous 1/2 inch. You don't want to do it directly up. So I'm going to say that's a 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm going to go there. Doesn't have to be perfect, but give yourself a nice score like that. Okay, or you can just fold it and eye it. So I'm going to fold that there down like that. Okay, so that's getting glued. That's going to get glued to here. See, now it's going to fit fine. Okay, so now I have to decide. You can cut it straight. You can cut it half circle. I would like to put a little small dangle there, which I did not get out, but I want to, I could cut it in like the tag shape, that edge. I think. All right, so I have to decide, and I want it to hang over this tag a little so you could see the dangle here, which I think will be fine. So I'm going to decide what I want to do, and I'm going to push it this way, not more in here, because this is a little thicker piece of ephemera. So I am going to, I'm going to cut it right, I don't know. Sorry about that noise. Oh, I think I'm going to cut it here and hope that it's good. Let's see how that works. So that goes there. And by putting a little something down there, it will keep this cover closed. Okay. I think, and if I, yeah. Okay, so that's that. I think I want it even a little shorter. A little shorter. There we go. Okay, I like that, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the tag shape, since the tag shape is resonating in the journal. And I'm going to get my little template out that I used. I'm sure most of you have seen this. Just take a credit card and I cut a big diagonal, a tiny, oh, so this is tiny, the next size smaller, the next size bigger. I didn't measure, I just eyed it and they all look good to me, so that's what I use. I don't know whose idea this was, it's been around, but I am going to do this to here. And you could eyeball it, you know, cut one end off, flip the little piece over. I mean, a lot of people do that, but I really do enjoy using this. And as long as you have it right at hand, you'll use it, right? Okay. So now let's see how that looks. So yeah, see how I like how that looks. And I've got to ink it, which I should have done before, but I didn't. So I'm going to get some, let's see, I think I should get the green, my Forest Moss out. Seems to be a lot of green on the edges, so let me do that. Okay. I should have done it before, but that's okay. And you could ink your pockets too. But it'll be fine. See, it's not a problem. This part's going to get glued down, so you're not even going to see it. And usually it's fun to have a little image there, or if not, you can have more you can have some writing space there. That would be fine. Okay. So I will glue this whole back on here like that. And then when you need to get in there, you have 3 pockets, if you can see. When you flip it, it should be the glue should be set now. You have 3 pockets, and you can use book page. I just had this paper and I just wanted to use it in here. It's a little stiff, but it's going to work fine. But you've got 3 pockets to fit things in. I love that. So that's going to be filled up with goodies. And what I'm going to do is probably put an eyelet there. I'll probably do that after the fact because I didn't think. And I'm going to hang a little bead down there. But I'm going to glue this on for sure. I think I'm just going to use my fabric tack for now. I have a new bottle of fabric tack I broke into, so no more painful waiting for it to come down. And at the end, towards the only thing at the end of the bottle, it has a mind of its own. It just wants to ooze out. And it's just, you just try to get as much of it out as you can because it's, a little pricey, although I did get 3 bottles on clearance at Joann's before they close. So I think I should be good for the rest of the year now. All right, so I'm going to get this on here. I don't want to get my glue all over. All right, so let me concentrate here. And like I said, I'm putting it more towards the right because I don't want to get towards the crease. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to just hold this down. Okay, so it sets because I'm not going to pull on it. I refuse to pull on it. And I think that's a fun piece of ephemera to put in any journal, really. And it's like, you see people do them and you save the videos and you might make a sample, you might not. But then as every year goes by and you kind of forget about it. You forget, and you have to make an effort to go back and revisit, I think, some of your older videos that you save or your templates that you save, and see to keep this cover down, which I will score again here. I'll score that, so that helps. But when I put a little eyelet there and a little bead, it's going to hold it down there. So I love that. And I already decorated this side. And I hung this little thing with a cute paper clip, more writing space. So that's it. I'm not going to show you anymore, but that is for the first signature. Now we're in the second signature. Now these labels, remember I showed you these labels? These were introduced, Carol Laws had used them. And I printed them the regular size. These are regular size. And then I reduced them 2 to a page, and I've been using these in here, and I'm loving them. And I have it listed below. It's from the Old Design Shop on Etsy. The Old Design Shop. Yeah, that's the shop. And Grunge Labels. And I think they might have more than one kit. So it's just blank Grunge Labels for that, the ones I got here. But by printing them smaller, I've been using them in this journal, and I really feel I'm going to be using these for the rest of the year. I really love them. And I added them throughout here. Some are removable and some are glued on. And like, for instance, this one's glued on, and it goes so well with this kit. And I thought it would be very nice to put your own quotes that mean something to you throughout this journal, things that, you know, maybe thoughts you have and just pretty things you want to remember, okay? So they are throughout the journal. You probably can't see on video, but I did hit some of the purples with some Tim Holtz spray, but I put it on a plastic and I used a brush and touched them because I didn't want it to bleed through. So just like a dry brush, which was enough to give some shimmer. So, okay, so I want to do now, I'm not going to show you anymore. Of course, you saw that, right? You saw this one I did already, so that's nothing. Okay, here's another tag right here. I don't know what I'm doing on this side, but what I wanted to do, since I had extra paper left, and it's so pretty, and I think I was going to ink that. I wanted to make another tuck, a little tuck on this tag. Let's see. So I'm just going to ink this up. Another little area to write something, or if you don't want to write something, you could make a tag, a little tag to go in there, or a folded piece of paper if you wanted. But I'm going to put this in here, and I thought it would be a tuck. It'd be really nice with the bottles. Now, of course, did I not? I think I inked this one up. Yeah, I did that one, but I didn't do this one. I love little tucks with things you can take in and out, and I've done that quite a bit in here. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to glue these together. So let me get some glue on these here and put them where I want it. So I think I'm going to do it, you know, like offset them, right? Okay, like that. So let me get those glued together. And let me get this cutting board out of my way here. My trimmer. Okay, there we go. So now they're together. Okay, perfect. Okay, I want to glue them here just on the bottom because I want to make this a tuck here. And I think that's so pretty to put something there. So that's what I'm going to do. I might even add some greens along the bottom, I think. Some of my die cuts would be real pretty. So while that's drying, I have some of my lavenders that I could put here like that. Oh, I have little ones, big ones. I have some extras here. Oh, do I have any green? I don't, you know what? I need to cut more green. I think I used all my greens up. Wow. Okay, that's fine. Because I have greens. I could put a mushroom there too. Let me just ink my mushroom here. See, this is how I get it all over my hands because I get lazy. I only have a few of those holders to put the sponges on, and I did buy more so I wouldn't have to worry about. Just lazy to get another one out, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to glue that here, and I could still put a little lavender in there. I will fit some lavender in there. I could. Oh, that's pretty. I'm going to put that in there. I love lavender. I can't believe I still didn't make my purple journal. It's been on my list. I really thought I was going to get it done this season, but it didn't happen. So I guess it's on the list for next year. And that's okay. That looks nice there. Pretty. Okay. Yeah, I need to cut more of my greens out. Oh, and I've been using those beautiful greens, these things that I got off Etsy. And you know what? I don't know, just that's what they're just what are these? They're by Hey Judy. They're pet stickers. I don't know what that stands for, I forget. But they look real, and they're on a shiny background. You pull them off. So the stickers themselves pretty much are matte, which I like. And I've been using them through this journal. I think they look really pretty. So there we go. Now let me glue that down. So it'll go over, it can go over there, but just a pretty little something. And I could glue that there. I could do that. I'll just cut the stem a little shorter. And I'm going to put that on that paper because I think even the smallest touch of something adds, right? Just even the smallest little piece adds something to this. So that's what I'm going to do here on here. Okay. Yep, it does. Looks really nice. Let that dry. And this tag here, I don't know if you could see it, it's dyed, but it's got glimmer, shimmer all over it. So that looks good there. And I don't know what I'm doing on this side yet. Haven't thought about it. I do have a couple pockets left. This one might be too big, but I could cut it down, but we'll see. I haven't decided yet. Might be time for a skelly over there. Here I put on this short page here of this gal here, I put one of those journals, and I feel like I want to put a trim along here, so I might be doing that, a trim. And then there's writing, and some skellies might go on this page, writing. And then I did the other tag in the first signature with this here. We decorated it. I'm going to make one more piece of ephemera with you, and if we have time, I can go back to this. And then some skellies need to go there. We have writing there. And I made a tag to go in here. I don't know if I showed you the belly band I did. So that I'll show you that, and then put a little something. There's the middle. I love the middles of these. This one, I don't know if I did that in the last video. I kind of decorated this. I think I must have showed you. Put a tag in there. Yeah, okay. And then, yeah, so there's more to go. So on the back of this envelope in the second signature, I want to put another piece of ephemera that I made. And I think I had a video on this, but it's another easy one. And another thing you can make on any size. This size here, I'll measure it, but this seems to go good. So you glue this on. You can glue it 3 sides and make it a top pocket here, or you can glue it and make it a side pocket. But what you do is you have this little label, and this label just kind of holds the flap, and this is glued down, right? But then you fold this down, and you have writing space. You could put picture, whatever you want. So I think this is cool. Now, where did this idea come from? I don't know, because I didn't write who did it, but we're going to do it. And I want to do this size. See, you could, I did do it on a scrap paper and wrote down the size I made on this, but this is smaller. I want to make it this size. So that's why I'm saying you could make it any size you want. Now, the thing is, do I have a piece of paper to do it with? Because I'm not sure. And I don't know if I have a double-sided, drats. I'm not prepared. I have a piece here, but it's not printed, and my computer's not in my room with me right now. Okay, so what else can we do here? I am going to take, it's not a problem, because I have purples. I have purples, but they're not double-sided either. So so prepared for this video, aren't I? I'm reaching over here. Okay, we need a full sheet. Okay, this is pretty on here. Well, you know what? I think I'm going to use this, because if I cut this up, what we need, I could, I didn't print it full. Okay, so we're not going to use this, but we can decorate it. I'm going to use this. Now you can see, folded out, that's what it is. So we're going to measure it. And even though my inside's not covered, double printed, we have a lot of things we can put in there. So this measures 8.5 by 11 because it's the piece of that. So 8.5 by 11 by, I'm going to cut my 8.5 by 11 by 4.5. Oh wait, we have to cut it longer here. So 8.5 by 11 by 6. So take the 8.5 by 11 printed sheet, cut 6 inches off. We'll get to it. Let me get a drink of water. Okay, take your standard 8.5 by 11 and whatever, if you have, if you're in the UK and use a different size, I don't know how many centimeters that is, but so we're going to take our cut and we're going to cut a 6-inch piece off. Okay. All right, so I have that. You see? Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut a strip off. The strip measures 1.5 by, this is 1.5. Hold on. I want to give you exact stats. I think it's 7. Right? Let me just make sure. My other ruler here. No, it's not quite 7, is it? Three and a half, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, it's weird. Okay, we don't want to cut too much off. We need the flap. So, and it seems this part here is deeper, right? So let's score it. Let's score it and cut it. So I'm going to score first. I'm going to put this in my score with the sample here so I don't screw this up, hopefully. Measuring it here against my 8.5 by 11. And we're going to score it here, which is at, it's like 4 1/8. Don't cut it. I'm going to score this at 4 1/8. Okay, so we got that. That's going to be the big part, the bigger flap. So let me get this folded. As soon as I find out where my score line is there. Didn't do a very good score there, did I? I can't even see it. Right there. Okay, score. I didn't want to push too hard. Okay, score that. Right? Okay, so we did that. And that should measure that one. That should match up. Yes. It does. I promise. Okay. So then, I know this is 1.5 inches we need to cut off. So put this up to 1.5. But you're only going to cut up to the score line. So you can either start at the score line or cut up from the score line. And I'm going to take a chance and do it this way. And then I can cut it with my scissor here. Let's see how that goes. So I'm going to cut along the score line, if I can see it. Yeah, and I'd rather go a little less than all the way, because then I can figure it out with my scissor here. Okay. Okay, that should work. Okay, perfect. That was a little rough to get to, but that's okay. Now, then, I don't think we need the cutter anymore. We're gonna score, and so here we are. Did I do that right? Yes? Okay. Okay, so this is the top here with this piece here. So now what we're going to do is just fold this up, you know, just underneath the score line, as even as possible. Okay, yep, as even as you can. So I rounded the corners. Oh, this needs to get folded in, doesn't it? So this, you can fold this up. I think it's probably best if you fold this up like that. And now you can either score it or just use your hand, your fingers, to just do that. Okay, that's all right. We'll decorate in here. So we don't even have to round the corners yet, because we're gonna do some printing in there probably. And you're gonna need a little label there. Let me get my trusty little labels out here that I've been printing on. Pick some of the small ones here. I think some are vertical, some are horizontal. I like that horizontal one. I like that one with the little knob at the top, but they're all different, and I think they're so pretty. I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do this one here. Cool looking. I left my glue open all this time. Okay, so okay, so I think I'm going to have it go this way. You can have them go, I could do it that way too. I could. Maybe I will. So you want it to where it's going to be over enough to flip it in. And you want to make it out of cardstock, because it's a little stronger to hold the flap. So probably almost halfway across. So you can just turn it over on the wrong side. And this way you could just take a pencil and run a line where you don't want the glue. And then you can put your glue. Yeah, I let it go too long. I wish there was a better way that you could leave your glue open while you're working and not have to keep closing it. I don't know. Just saying. If anybody comes up with an idea, let me know, okay? It's just, you get in the habit of doing it and you just automatically do it. So, all right. And then you just kind of put it where you want it, in the middle here. And hold that down. And we could decorate this, obviously. But for now, I just want to put it there. And that's it. So you can make this, you can make it a little bigger, obviously, because we cut some off. You can make it out of cardstock, which is 12 by 12. You can make it even bigger if you need it bigger. But I think it's a fun piece. And like I said, you could round those two corners and that corner. I didn't round the others because I don't think there's a need for it. These here, there are no need for that. But see, it's pretty if you print on both sides. Something neutral that you can write on. I think that's really, really pretty. And it's an easy piece. And like I said, you can, I'll show you here. You can, this is going to fit perfect here. So I'm going to probably make it, I don't know. I'll probably make it a top tuck where I can put something behind it like that. And you still have a writing space. Or like I said, if you want, you can do it this way too. Super cool project, I think. So I don't think you need to see me decorate the inside. I'm going to have to, or I might make myself a new one and print it is what I think I'm going to do. But I just wanted to show you the basic sample and measurements. But so that, and I'm going to have to let you go because I know the grandkids will be coming soon and I need to get ready yet. I wanted to make another piece of ephemera. So I might have to do one more video with you because I want to show you a couple other pieces of things to make. So there might be one more video with some ephemera, okay? We'll see how it goes. Or if I decide to just finish it up, it'll be a nice flip through to see all the extra things that I've done with it, okay? All right, friends, thanks so much for hanging with me. I really appreciate your time, and I hope you have a really nice day today. Thank you. Bye.